The David Royce Show on the road today here at the old American One Event Center. The new one right over there. We're here at Keeley Park, Jackson County Fairgrounds. We're going to be talking today with Stu Kail now from the Crossroads Pickleball. That's what the old American One Center is now, the American One Community Rec Center. Crossroads Pickleball. Pickleball, to me, the fastest growing sport anywhere. I've played a couple of times, but I still might need some basics on how to exactly play. And for those of you that watching or listening that maybe haven't played either, well, we're going to talk to Stu Kail from Crossroads and get some inside knowledge. And who knows, maybe we'll even show you that we're going to play some pickleball. So let's go inside and talk to Stu. We're inside now here at Crossroads Pickleball. Fellow Packers shareholder, Stu Kail from Crossroads. Thanks for doing this, for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So Crossroads, of course, we're inside the old American One Event Center here. Many events held here is what people know this building for. And now it's the home of the pickleball.
Yeah, it was a roller rink at one point. I know I've been to weddings here. I've been to a circus here once before, Crossroads. And so our partnership with the county has been fantastic. And of course, American One coming in and investing in this building for all new bathrooms, shower. It's incredible inside from where it was at almost a little bit over a year ago.
Yeah, in just a year, it went from that to all of this now, and great partners helping to make this possible too.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got support from 6 businesses here in Jackson. So each of the courts are named after those businesses. So when you go on the app to go reserve a time or book a court, those are actually the court names that you'll see right there on the app.
Yeah, and of course, there's memberships available, right?
Yeah, so we wanted to make our model a little unique. We looked at models across the entire state of Michigan and actually across the U.S., and we wanted to make it so that your membership got you something. A lot of times membership just gives you a little bit earlier access to reserving courts or to getting into tournaments or open play. So we actually have 2 different membership options. You can have the option where basically you get to play unlimited in the mornings most days of the week. Or we have like a more of an elite one that if you want to say, hey, I'm all in, I want to play a little bit more. And both of those membership options give you a discount on leagues and tournaments and other things we have here at Crossroads.
And for beginners or somebody who maybe hasn't played pickleball or very limited, you guys offer intro to pickleball classes.
We do, and we were warming up a little bit earlier, and you do not need those classes. You're going to be totally fine. But we do an intro to pickleball class, typically runs about every other week, and it is a great, we've had over about 250 people or so have gone through that since we've opened our doors last year. It's a great way to learn the game. There's a lot of funky rules about pickleball.
Yeah.
They're not overly difficult to get. If you're a tennis player, sometimes it's hard to switch your brain off a little bit, but there's a lot of rules, and we want to make sure we can go through those with you so you have the most fun when you get out here.
Right, yeah, I was just going to ask, some people might think, oh, is it just tennis? Not exactly. Slightly different. Quite a few different rules that can get funky.
It is, yeah. There's this middle section of the court. It's called the non-volley zone. People call it the kitchen. You're not allowed to go in there,
right?
Unless the ball goes in there first. So sometimes that's a hard one for a lot of people to get. But yeah, it's definitely has characteristics of tennis, characteristics of ping pong, but it's its own unique game.
Yeah, and you guys have mixers and other events too here, right?
Yeah. So we've had, I think, 3 or 4 mixers since we've opened a year ago. Mixers are so much fun because you get a bunch of people together that may not all play at the same time. We've got multiple courts set up for advanced and intermediate and beginner. So sometimes people want to learn a little bit like, hey, could I play up a level? And that's a great time to do it.
Yeah. Of course, I won't need the lessons, but I think we should step out here, right? Show people what they want to see, right?
Let's show them. Let's show them.
Let's do it. So, real quick here, before we actually get to the action of the game, like we mentioned earlier, slightly different rules than tennis. If you want to explain maybe quickly here some of the differences between tennis and pickleball. Obviously, we're right here, the kitchen, right, or the non-volley.
Yeah, we're in the zone you don't want to be in.
Right.
You don't want to be in. Now, I was not a big racket sport player, so I didn't play a ton of tennis leading up to pickleball. So I don't know all of the comparisons, but I'll tell you kind of the basics of the game. The games are typically played to 11, normally played in doubles is generally how you see. You can play as singles, it's a great workout, but typically it's doubles. At Crossroads, we play where the side up against this wall here starts out serving, it doesn't really matter, and you serve the ball into the opposing corner. The ball cannot fall into this non-volley zone on the serve, and that includes that front line. So it's got to go all the way in. It can hit the back line, the sidelines, but it can't go in that front one.
And so it's got to be like a diagonal from that box to that box or vice versa.
Exactly. And you only, typically scoring is done where it's only when the team that's serving it is the one that would get the point in the event that would happen. So if there's a rally scoring, but that's not as common as you'd find. So.
All right, well, now that we got the basics out of the way, I'm gonna take a few shots.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
No.
All
So
underhand.
if you drop the ball, if you do not let the ball hit the ground and you hit it, the paddle's got to be going downward like this. You got to really hit it below your belly button.
Right.
And then you got to go on an upward motion. So you can't go like this to serve the ball.
Right.
But if you drop the ball, you can basically do whatever you want as long as you
Right.
bounce it.
Right. Gonna be bounce here, and then the underhand. And see, that wasn't very good there. That's got to be diagonal in the square.
Yes, yeah. So, yeah, you want to typically hit it. Really, when you're serving the ball, there's a lot of strategy you can put into your serve. It's really not as important, to be honest with you, especially if you're just learning the game. But really, typically, further back, the better. Now, keep in mind, the team that's serving the ball also has to let the ball bounce one more time on their side before they can basically then kind of have a free-for-all.
Right.
So I would serve to David, David would return it to me, we have to let it bounce one time, and then it's fair game, you can hit it out of the ground, but it can only be hit one time per side.
Right.
All right.
All right.
So we'll go serve, so I'll have you just return it back to me, David. The best idea when you're returning a serve is to try to get it back here the best as possible, this back third. This area in here, you really never ever want to be in.
Right.
You really want the game to get up right up here to the net, and then you do what's called dinking. It's kind of funny, but that's the term it is.
Right.
And that's where we're just kind of hitting the ball over the net, and we're waiting for basically someone to make a mistake.
Right.
Is more or less what happens there.
Be mostly back here.
Yeah,
So.
you want to be back there. Yep. All right. All right. All right.
And see, on the other way back, you got to let it bounce one time.
I would let it bounce once. Yep.
Yep.
All right, we'll do it again. Okay, here we go. I let it bounce once.
Oh! Okay,
Counts.
so
It counts.
Does that count then?
It does, yeah.
It goes over the net and on the line.
It does. Yeah, so in different to tennis, when I'm serving the ball, if the ball hits the net and still goes inside the square, it counts.
Right.
So, but yes, that would be. But normally, typically you apologize after a shot like that because it's kind of cheap how that happened,
Yeah. But hey, a point's a point.
a point's a point, yeah.
There you go.
So that was short.
Yep.
So you don't get a point,
Right.
and I don't get a point because we're playing standard.
You have
All right.
to serve to get the point.
Yep, so it's 0-0. There we go.
Huh.
All right, 1-0. Oh, good. Oh, all right. So it's 1-0, your serve, and you're going to be on that side of the court. Yep. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, you're going to be on that side of the court. We're playing a little backwards of how we started, but regardless.
So even though they don't get the point, they still won that and they switched sides, right?
You go back to the, so technically you would have normally started the game off on that side.
Yep.
So if you didn't score a point on yours in singles, you'd go back to that side that you were at. So since I scored a point, I was an odd, so I'd be on this side.
Right.
But we'll just play it this way for fun.
Yeah.
So it's 0-1. There we go. Good, David. That's in. That's a point.
So that's what's up.
All right. So that's basically pickleball in a nutshell.
Yeah. So I'm sweating here. Recover from it. No, that's awesome. I've played a few times, but I will have to come back though. So the mixer is open to anybody to come in?
Yeah, so members get a discount on that, but everything that happens at Crossroads happens through the Court Reserve app. So if you go on our website, it's pretty easy to find, but if you have any questions, message us on Facebook or shoot us an email.
Yeah, of course, follow Crossroads Pickleball on Facebook. Keep up with all their events. Stu, appreciate the time today. We'll have to do this again sometime.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dave.